for electives. And I think on the phone call, did you get the phone call that went out about the Spanish and band? For 8th graders. Okay, by the way, on the phone calls when I talk, 1 minute is all I put on there. That's it. So if you're not getting the phone call, get an email address and you'll get the full details. And I'll post it up on the website as well. The last thing you need to do is listen to me for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. But for the 8th graders, what we're trying to hold very sacred is that they're able to do Spanish and band. So they don't have to choose one or the other. Now traditionally it's been they've had to choose one or they had to choose the other. And I see that very much reflected when I look at, I'm guessing, the Perry Harrison enrollment in band. Because we have a good chunk of kids for Spanish, but only a very few kids for band, which seems really awkward. And I'm guessing that was the thought process. So what we'll end up doing is probably in the next week or two, calling up folks and saying, we know who the band kids are, but if you did not have 8th graders come in, fill out a sheet, do you want band, or check off you want band or Spanish or both. For the other grades, they've got, let's see, looks like they're going to go on, instead of having specialists travel from this school to the other school and back and forth, we're going to try the first semester keeping people on a campus, and the second semester we'll teach the other campus, even though we'll be under the same building. So, as an example, art might start off at Perry Harrison. So every kid, grade 6 and 7, will have art. First semester at Perry Harrison. Second semester, the North Chatham campus kids will have art. And the Perry Harrison kids, I think we paired it up with what I'm calling technology and education or something like that. And I've talked with a lot of people. It's something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll have art. There's art, general music, band, Spanish, PE, health. We've spoken, there's right now, and I emphasize right now, there's like a writing lab piece. And we're also at the end of the day, remember we talked about that huge piece where you have two schools coming together. So you're cutting the athletic opportunities in half. So at the end of the day, I've blocked off 40 minutes. And that 40 minutes, here's what can happen. We're going to have an extensive intramural program. We're going to have an opportunity for students who are struggling. And there will be rules in place that I'm going to run through the leadership team. Students to be able to go to their teachers if they're struggling and get caught up. We also have the AR program, and that AR program requires you to do X number of minutes of reading a day. We keep it simple, nothing ridiculous, maybe 15 minutes. So if a kid sits down for an hour one day, they'll meet their goal without a problem. But also during that time, we're going to start doing some yearbook pictures and photographing and things like that. And probably Ms. Klein will be overseeing. So she might have a group of students who are interested in photography or writing, and she can take that group every other day or whatever, meet with them and go off and do those things. So there's going to be a lot of different things that haven't been done in other schools or anywhere else that we'll be able to do. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I have two questions branched off from what you said.
Two follow-ups.
One being yearbook, I guess. So there's going to be one yearbook?
One yearbook.
Okay. But will there, athletic teams that were in the spring were not in the current year's book, so will they list the North Chatham and the Perry Harrison past spring teams? And then will there be any involvement with students onto the yearbook? That's one.
That's one?
That's encompassing one. And then there's one in 3 parts. So then the second one is about the Spanish, because it said that if
you want to answer that one first before you answer Spanish?
No.
I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
So with the yearbook, one yearbook, Perry Harrison will have their own. Great question. I'm sure
Perry Harrison is one follow.
Right, but I'm saying Perry Harrison will have their own. North Chatham will have their own for K5. We'll have our own Pollard, but we have the same problem. Spring pictures always come up later, so I'm sure we won't have a problem putting those pictures in with identifying the kids and things like that. So you'll have Perry Harrison 2010 spring pictures, and then girls soccer. And in terms of kids working on the kids being able to help, I think that's what our idea is. We also have a video production lab, and it'd be great to have a full video production lab. We have some money, but we really have to do some serious fundraising, I think. Unless it's included in the building, I haven't checked. But so there's a lot of stuff in the building. Your second question had to do around Spanish.
If I understood correctly from the information from out, is that if a child takes Spanish in the 8th grade, it counts as 1 year of their 2-year requirement. But what if they don't get to take Spanish 2 until there's, like, let's say their senior year? So they've gone 4 years without Spanish. Could they take Spanish when they get in the high school, or does that exempt them that because they've had it, they could not retake it? Especially with block scheduling, there's 8 semesters in school.
Well, or even the way the schedule works out. Definitively, 1 everyday Spanish at North Chatham campus, 1 everyday Spanish at Perry Harrison campus. That's happening. So that's two. Now, we could have her for 1 more class. Now, if we were all under one roof, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But I also don't know what time they need her over at Moncure. But it is possible if, say, one of the campuses was inundated with students, that she might be able to take on a 3rd class. More likely than not, what will happen on that is if she can do a 3rd class, we're going to have to find out what fits in the schedule, where on that campus it fits in the schedule, and she might do exploratory Spanish 1st semester on one campus and 2nd semester on the other campus, with potentially 6th or 7th graders.
So is this something that would be looked into? Or, I mean,
there is no, you mean the possibility of increasing that, or?
No, well, you're saying that it possibly can happen. But and that's great to hear that it's possible.
Right.
But how would we go from possible to investigating? How do we make it?
It's dependent upon 2 things. Mm-hmm. It's dependent upon the schedule that we're developing and when she's needed over at Moncure. Mm-hmm. And both of those are dependent upon me. And she also is entitled to a planning period. But again, if we're under one roof, you'd probably see 2 full-time Spanishes and 1